Hey everyone, how are we doing? Here we are, I made it finally. I'm actually on time. as far as the stream's concerned, but you all know that I like to be in a wee bitty early. I'm just going to move you around here so that I've got the chat in front of me. Let's do this. That's better. Oh, it's a Gem, yes. How is Mr. Gem? Marginally injured, but only comically. He's had a bit of a mishap today. For those of you that are in the Discord, you know it's very stormy here today. We've got about 45 mile an hour winds, and it's kind of raining on and off. And Mr. Jim came a cropper, and he came in and dragged in like probably about 3 kilos of cow poo with him, which Pip then tried to eat off the floor. So yeah, anyway, he's fine, he's all right. He didn't fall down a hole, but he put his foot down a ditch and down he went. So anyway, everybody's fine. But I was like, couldn't you have fallen down a hole like 15 minutes ago? Like you're such an inconvenience. But he's fine. So yeah, I kind of want to have a wee bit of a chit chat before we start artying today because it's been a wee while. Um, I was looking back there just when I was setting up the stream, obviously, and it's been 3 weeks since we've had any content at all. So I thought we would just maybe have a wee chin wag before we get into some bits and pieces. I thought I would be fresher today than I actually am. I thought I was doing okay. And then when I set up the stream, I caught a glimpse of myself in the camera. I was like, oh, okay. I'm still tired, but I'm definitely like I'm on the mend. I'm recuperating now. I've just maybe another couple of nights to recharge the old batteries and everything will be fine. So the stream itself today, the internet connection is questionable, but I have been on and off most of the day so far without too many hiccups. So I'm hoping that we should get through without any major mishaps. We might get a little bit of lag, but if it gets really irritating, as always, please just let me know. We can always end the stream and do it another day. That is not a problem. The other thing that I have done for today is the conversations come up quite a few times recently about the number of ads that you're all seeing. So I have turned the ad frequency down to low. So for those of you that aren't on YouTube Premium, if you can kind of not give me a running commentary, but if you can let me know how that goes today. I mean, those of you that are here, you're regulars. You're in the gang. So if you could let me know whether that makes a difference, I would be really interested to find out. It's just about finding a balance between it not being annoying and still being able to generate a bit of revenue from doing the live. So any input on that today would be much appreciated. So who have we got here? Oh dear, poor Mr. Jim. Oh, it's completely his own doing, Ulrika. Don't encourage him. He needs no encouragement. Hello, Susie R. How are you? So hot here today, could do with a bit of that wind. Start timetabling his accidents. It's kind of a running joke that he ruins my birthday every year. We usually end up in accident and emergency or something equally as inconvenient around my birthday, and I'm at the point now where I swear blind he does it on purpose. Thea just saw YouTube move the heart button out of the chat window. Have they? I've still got a heart button. Oh, interesting. And we've got Yana as well. Hi, nice to see you. We're all good. Ulrika, okay, in that case, Daft Mr. Jem. He's absolutely terrible. See, for someone that's so good with his hands, and he's very good at fixing things, and he's got a very good like three-dimensional perception of things, but he doesn't seem to be able to apply that to his own body a lot of the time. it's something that I've just learned to like live with over the years. He's something special as Mr. Jim. Right, so yeah, we've got Yana, we've got Jan who's here, but she's not actually here, obviously. We knew that. And our mod for today is Thea, as always. Didn't ask her to do it; she's just here. So if you've got any issues or if anything gets out of hand in the chat, which is highly unlikely at this point on a Wednesday afternoon, given that we've got quite a small group in today. But if there's anything you need, or if you want links to anything, Thea's really efficient at sorting people out for stuff like that. So And she's giving you a pink on her hand in the chat as well, just to let you know that she's there. Jan, but it's not hiding the chat window now. That's an improvement. Love it. Nope, no Jan's here. Not us. We've got a Yana, but we don't have a Jan. Yeah. On that note, that's just brought something to mind. I'm constantly trying to improve my Swedish, as some of you may know, for obvious reasons. And one of the letters in Swedish, the J, is not pronounced with a hard sound like Jan, it's pronounced with a Y sound like Jana. And today I learned the word for strawberry in Swedish. And just for a bit of background, most of the words for fruit in Swedish kind of make sense. En tomat is a tomato, citron is a lemon, and the word for strawberry is jordgubbe. And this is why I love learning Swedish, because they've got some really, really funny words. So there you go. That's my little piece of wisdom for today. So stuff that's going to go on in the cave for the next week and a half-ish. In case any of you didn't know, I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks' time. I cannot wait. I need this so, so badly. But in this fortnight up until that point, there's going to be quite a lot of activity in the stash shop. We've got new Julia K paint colours coming. We have a sea white reorder. So quite a few of you have put in back in stock requests for the watercolour journals. So they should be back in by the weekend as well. So for you, those of you that have put in a back in stock notification, you'll get an email once they are up and going. And in the weeks after that, I'm going to have quite a big drop of second-hand art supplies, so good quality used art supplies. So the shop's going to be busying up, and I'm also going to have the first selection of Christmas cards, and I'm really sorry to say that because it's only October. This year's Christmas card is finished. Some of you that have been in the streams before know that it was actually a commission for my local post office. My postmistress is an absolute sweetheart. She is over the moon with the finished article, and we had the discussion about being able to use it not only in the post office and for her to sell it, but for me to have a version of it in the stash shop as this year's Cave Christmas card. So that is up and coming as well. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do pre-orders for Christmas cards or whether I'm just going to get a selection of the ones from previous years, because Mildred the Christmas Moo is always a favourite. But I'll let you know about that in the coming days. For this week, there will be a video at the weekend, and as I promised prior to me absolutely bombing out and just not having any energy, one of the Kirby colouring videos will follow on from that fairly quickly. So that's the plan in the sort of interim, and I'm going to stack up a couple of videos so that when I disappear off for 10 days, there'll be at least one video for you to watch while I'm away. So that's kind of my thinking, that's kind of my plan. Just really hoping that I can get my sleeping pattern back to normal. It has improved, because there was a point there, it was nearly 2 weeks, where I was going to bed around my normal time, but I was waking up at like 1 or 2 in the morning and I was not able to get back to sleep. So I was literally only getting like 2 or 3 hours sleep a night. And that's okay for a night or two, but when it starts to happen consistently over 2 weeks, it becomes really difficult if you're a busy person. And I couldn't concentrate on anything, like less than usual. I mean, my attention span was like this much. So I feel as if I've turned a corner with that. I was up during the night last night, but it was only for a couple of hours and I managed to get back to sleep. And I was quite relieved when I opened my eyes this morning and looked at the clock and it was 5 o'clock and not 1 o'clock. So yeah, all good and well. So we shall power on, and if anything changes, obviously I shall let you know. Let's just have a look at the chat here. Oh, Jana's saying she's got family in Tampa where the hurricane is due. I was reading about that in the news this morning, Jana. It looks absolutely terrifying, and something I don't understand is there are people that are staying put in Tampa, and I understand it's not that easy to get out, and there's a lot of problems with fuel. petrol, gas. Uh, but I'm really surprised at the number of people that are like, no, I'm staying put because it looks really scary. So we will keep you here in our thoughts for that. Mary is super sweet and totally unrelated to strawberry. In German, it's Erdbeer. Yes, I'm very familiar with the German. An earthberry instead of a strawberry. Well, straw grows out of the ground, so you can kind of see where that's coming from. Susie says, haha, I like your thinking. Wait until after Halloween for Christmas stuff. I had to warn the boyfriend who's just moved in with me that Christmas starts in November. No. See, it's a bit different. Like on the retail side of it, you have to have things ready really early. And the demographic in this area, in terms of the post office and the Christmas card commission, a lot of the residents in the nearest village are retirement age or older, or a lot older, some of them, and they have a lot of family in places like Australia or America. So if they're sending gifts and Christmas cards, they send them really, really early so that they're there. So that's why they want the Christmas cards available this early. But in terms of decorations, I'm firmly a like 1st of December, fair game, put your Christmas decorations up. We don't put a Christmas tree up until quite late on because we always have a real tree, and if the house is really warm, even if you get a really fancy one, they tend to drop needles, and I don't want a bald Christmas tree by the time Christmas Day comes. Plus, as well, I'm quite excited about it this year because last year Mr. Jem was really unwell and Glyn had just passed away. So I basically ignored Christmas last year. There was no heart in it at all. So I'm very excited about Christmas this year. But even at that, December's enough for me. That's quite enough. Thank you very much. Jan says 10 days on the Discord of uninterrupted food chat in Jem's absence. Why do you think they've not got the internet in Malta? I'll still be on the Discord. You keep your food chat to yourself. Susie says the I'm Scottish, so Halloween was always big at home and school. Miss it. Did you? That's a thing, Susie, because Susie, you're from Glasgow, aren't you? Do you say dukin for apples? Because that's like I'm West Coast, and although we don't have like a lot of like broad dialect, we always say dukin. You know, if you take a duke for something, I'd be really interested to hear if that was a thing in Glasgow as well. Mary goes up December the 12th, then 12 days before, 12 days after. Yana doesn't decorate. Well, it's interesting because I will put decorations up from the start of December because it's usually quite a gradual process for me. You know, I kind of like do a bit at a time, especially in the old house, which was very, very big. You know, you kind of like did a room and then you left it for a couple of days and then you maybe start somewhere else. Because I didn't do any Christmas decor last year, this is technically my first Christmas in this house decorating, so I don't actually know what I'm doing. I've got bucket loads of decorations, but I've not decided what I'm doing yet. So it's going to be a wee adventure this year, but I'm looking forward to it. But I always take my decorations down on the 1st of January. It's more like a close the door on last year and start the new year for me, and I really like the sort of fresh start, and I do a bit of a not a deep clean, but you know, like I go round and like tidy up the house, take all the decorations down and dust and clean things, and that's like the 1st of January. And I really like that, like I really enjoy that. Planted trees apparently shed a lot less. Well, the thing is, Susie, we're like surrounded by Christmas trees, and we usually just cut one down. And where we are now, we are like there's bucket loads, and we were surrounded by trees. So, we did try a planted one. How long ago was that? I want to say that was 4 years ago, and it didn't survive outside in a planter. Because obviously you bring it in and then you're supposed to put it back outside, and when it went back outside, it was like, nope, not doing this. Um, and I wouldn't buy a planted one because they're ridiculously overpriced. But I like your thinking. I like it. It's very sustainable. Apple bobbing, yes, that's a name for it. That's exactly the same thing. Susie's like, yeah, apple bobbing. Right, okay, so let's talk about what we're doing today. Right, okay, so this is well, it's interesting for me, it might not be interesting for you. What I have here is my little scrapbook. Scrapbooking is not something I do very often at all. I used to do a little bit. When I say scrapbooking, I use that term very loosely. I don't know whether you want to call it junk journaling or paper craft or collaging, or because to me, honestly, obviously not a purist, that it's kind of all the same thing. So what I've got here is my little, this is a little handmade journal, and Mr. Jem gave me this for Christmas years ago, and I never really found a use for it, but I stopped scrapbooking and everything. See, when I got into arting, like drawing and painting, I stopped bullet journaling. I stopped journaling altogether, and everything kind of got put in a box and got put away. And about 4 or 5 months ago, I kind of got back into it. So I started a new scrapbook in this little handmade book. And it's just, this is adorable. Like, it's so nice. And I love like the handmade sort of ruggedness of it. So a couple of weeks ago, before I started not sleeping, I'd started a sort of autumnal page, and I'd picked out, like I'd gone through all my scraps and all my sort of journaling stuff, and I'd sort of procured a selection of autumny type things. So I thought today that maybe we could work on this. I don't know how you all feel about that, if it's something that you're interested in or not. This is just sitting here because I was out shopping for something else, and I was in one of our, I can only describe it as like a discount store. It's called Home Bargains. It's what we would call a cheap shop. So you get branded stuff at cheap prices, or you get like generic label versions of the same thing, and it costs a lot less. I was actually in for plastic containers, don't ask, and I came across these and I thought, oh, do you know what? They would be really pretty to use in a sort of junk journal type situation. So I was going to put these in this tin. I'm just going to move this to the side for a wee minute. Move that out of the way as well. Don't need my cutting that. This is an old tobacco tin, and this company that made Three Nuns were actually based in Glasgow. And I've had this tin for a long time. It's all knackered and bent and stuff, but I love it. But this is where I keep the sort of what I call the embellishments. So I've got little bits of like ribbon and thread, and I've got these little iron-on patches. Julia made these from Julia K Art Studio, and they're the ones that you don't have, you can stitch them on, but you can iron them on with a hot iron. And I just have this little, I like to call this like my trinket box. So these are wee things that I would add to a scrapbook page at the end. And I feel like these belong in here, so I was just going to pop them in there because they were floating about and they were loose. Oh, here's Patty. Hi, Patty. How you doing? Get these little flowers out. They're so pretty. Like, oh, yeah. Out you come. We'll deal with the packaging afterwards. I feel like these are more sort of maybe like Easter or summer colours, and they're made of paper, and they've got these little nubbins on them as well, but they're flat on the back, so that's why I thought they'd be really good for sticking down. But we've got different colours. And so you can see some of them are slightly different shapes as well. These kind of like corally coloured ones are much rounder. I just think they're really pretty. I think they're lovely. I'm really into that. Jan says, like that, not something I do, so happy to learn something new. Well, as I say, like I am by no means an expert, and especially having a slightly dodgy hand, I would definitely say I'm not a consummate professional, but it's something I quite enjoy because I always find that when I'm drawing or painting, my art tends to be quite literal and a lot of the times is very realistic. And I feel as if I've got a little bit more freedom with the scrapbooking, and it's just things that might go well together, but it wouldn't necessarily make sense as an image. And I quite like that about it. It's not something I do regularly at all, but it's just, it's just something a little bit different. Hi, April. Oh, you're off work sick? Oh, non français? Not today, April. Yeah, sorry you're ill, but we're glad that you're here. Good. Right, we'll pop those away. I don't see anybody particularly enthusiastic about the pas de français. Ah, that's good. So there you go. At least you're using some French today. Yeah, so nobody seems to be objecting. Nobody's particularly excited about this, but okay. So that is where I'd started. And one of the things that's kind of getting to me is the last time I did sort of like any sort of scrapbooking, it was a much, much bigger book. And I seem to have some like 3D spatial awareness issues because what I tend to do is I go through all my scrapbooking supplies and I pull things out that I think will fit with the aesthetic, or usually for me it's color themes. So like in this case, obviously autumnal colors. And the thing that really stood out to me was these stickers. They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So they're like doorways into another realm. But they're like mushroomy and they're so pretty. Like I really wanted to use these. But if I just show you, for example, this one here, which happens to be one of my favourites, it takes up like more or less the entire page. So what I actually thought was I could cut one of these in half and have it like off to the side, that kind of thing. So yeah, there was that. But anyway, what I did was I pulled out all this stuff. So that was what I'd started a couple of weeks ago. So I just want to show you the type of things that I've pulled out. So I have what I call the kind of background stuff. Now see this is not like a tried and tested method or anything, it's just the way I do things. I've got some really nice tissue paper here because I quite like texture in these kind of things as well. So I don't know whether I might want to put in a little bit of that. But these were more of kind of like the background stuff I have, that I thought I might be able to sort of like overlap and kind of like layer them up. I'm instantly thinking that this just doesn't fit the aesthetic anymore. So I've got a dump pile behind me, which I'm just going to pop that into. So I kept this as a scrap. So this was like the card that came in the front of all these stickers. You can see it's part of the same design. Again, it's quite rigid and I've already got 2 layers of paper, so I don't know if that's a good idea because it's to scale of the stickers, so I think I might discount that as well. But I thought maybe we could stick in this somewhere here. So that was the background stuff, and then obviously I had these beautiful stickers. I've got a couple of washi tapes, which again I don't know, picked them because of the colours, but they seem more summery because there's a lot of like flowers in full bloom. I don't know if you can see that because of the light, and butterflies and stuff. And this one's more like jeweled stuff. But I was thinking maybe as like a strip down the side or something that might be quite cool. And then I've got the mid and top layer stuff. So this makes me laugh every time that I acquired a set of these. Someone sent these to me, and they've obviously come from Temu or somewhere like that. So there's a set of these, and there's these little tiny themed books, and the paper is not transparent. It's like semi-transparent. And this one is all sort of leaves and things like that, but I picked out because there's mushrooms. But the title of this book is Botanical Garden. And I'm sure all of you, as much as I am very partial to a garden. So there was quite a few things in there that I liked. The garden. We always like the garden. There's one of those mushroom stickers. But also this one here, these are transparent ones, but these are done by kind of like colour order. They're very, very glossy. So this would be more like a top layer. But there's a section with like pumpkins and, there's a really cute little lantern there. So I thought that they might fit in. And I've just got a little selection of other bits and pieces. So I really like this sticker from one of the Upcrate sets, and I thought I could maybe cut off the white border and maybe like pop that in a corner or something. You've got a little family of owls as well. I've got a bit of a thing, like when I'm looking through my scraps, I have a lot of owls. I don't know why, but I do. And I think that this little owl family are particularly cute, so another potential. I've got some, there's another owl. Sure. I've got some clocks as well, and I was just thinking like obviously we're thinking about like a change of season, so maybe a clock would be a nice thing. Not really sure if and how they fit in. I think probably that one would maybe be most likely, but got those as well. And then just a few other little bits. I've got some semi-transparent mushrooms that can just be popped in like wherever, and a little ticket here with a stag on it, which I really like for some reason. Some more mushrooms and this lovely little frame. I picked this one out because of the colours and the butterfly. Again, they're quite muted and they fit in quite well with the aesthetic. So that's what I've got to work with. That was what I'd pulled out. And basically what I want to do now is just sort of try and figure out how and if any or all of this is going to fit together on here. Hmm. Ulrika likes collaging. Fiddling around with all the bits and pieces is good fun. Well, see, this is the thing, Ulrika, because I have kind of like a limited patience span for it. I find it quite frustrating at times because it involves fine motor skills. My hand doesn't always cooperate. So I can get quite kind of like grumpy about it, and I kind of lose my patience, and that's why I only do it every now and then. But I do enjoy the sort of farting about with it and looking through everything, that kind of thing. Jan likes the old tin. Yeah, well, I think that that tin was probably where did it go? What am I about? Oh yeah, I think judging by the wear on it, I think it's either been used as a like a smoker's tin, or it's maybe it's been used to store other things. It's very rusty on the inside, so it kind of makes me think that maybe someone kept like nails or nuts and bolts or something in it at one point. I've put a little bit of tracing paper down in the bottom just so that the rust doesn't transfer onto all my wee bits and pieces that are in here. I just wished it closed a bit better because I mean you see like it's really bent. You've got to kind of force it a wee bit. Papa Jem did say he would try and straighten it up for me, but yeah, there's something really appealing about it, and because it's come from Glasgow as well, which is very, very close to where I was uh, born. Ugh. I've got a bit of a like an affinity for this tin. I like it a lot. I love old stuff though. So hello Elise, how are you? Nice to see you. Thea's got loads of scrapbooking stuff, but lost on what to do. Honestly, Thea, like, because I kind of get like, and I understand this. Obviously, I've known Thea for quite a long time. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying that. And I do suffer with overwhelm sometimes, like, and it's almost like a sensory overload because you've got so much stuff. And the best thing I can say is start small. See, having something this size and picking a really simple theme. Like, let me show you what I've done because I only started this a couple of months ago. So this is a cave scrap journal. That's what I'm calling it. So I did like a wee starting page. Um, but like for example, this page, there's no theme per se in terms of colour or aesthetic. I just picked out stuff to do with having a cup of tea, literally all I did. So there's a wee recipe there. There's a bunny in a cake dome, which I just think is like super, super cute. And like coffee, things like that. And when I picked these out, it's centred around this one sticker that I bought years ago. I'm just here for the tea because I'm always so I find that that's easier. And again, this one here as well is a nautical theme. So I just picked out, a couple of bits and bobs. There's got a little whale in there. But I tend to find for myself that there's one thing that I fixate on that makes me want to do it. And this one that we're talking about today is these mushroom stickers. Like this is how this started. So having just a wee page and having to whittle down. My theme here was pastel, obviously. That's pretty. And unsurprisingly, there's an owl on this page. This is what I was saying about owls. So it doesn't have to be big and fancy. And that's the thing I really like about scrapbooking. It's only what you want it to be or what you make it to be. And it's not the same as painting a commission for a Christmas card or even finishing a colouring page. It's just this little bubble all on its own, and that's why I really, really like it. Yana's doing photo books, scrapbooks for family. Oh, that's so I love that kind of thing. I wouldn't have the patience for that, but I actually really enjoy seeing other people's stuff like that. Susie's got to go. P.S. Love home bargains. Bye, Susie. We'll see you later. No, bigger scrapbooks aren't always good, Jan. Basically, a mini glue book. Yeah, okay. Ulrika likes the tiny book. Yeah, I think it is vellum, Ulrika. I think that's probably the most accurate description. I think you're right there. It's got that thickness of vellum as well. Jan just nearly had a heart attack. Company phone went off. Thankfully, a wrong number. How dare they? Ah, that's hilarious. Mary definitely does not have the patience for this type of crafting. Hello, man. Release. How are you? Oh, you like the tea sticker, Thea? Yeah, it's one of my favourites. I bought that off. Does anybody remember Redbubble? I bought that off Redbubble. As one of my favourites. Hi, Terry. You're awake and making coffee. Yay! And oh my goodness, not only have we got Terry, but we've got MJ Pete as well. Hi, MJ. How are you? Stopping by for a quick hi. Appreciated. You guys are you. It's funny that you've both come in together as well. You guys are the early birds all the way over the other side. Goodness me. Right, okay. So yes, this is where we are. I'm kind of debating whether this little scrap. I almost want to. I want to pop this in somewhere, but I feel like it's just not fitting in now. So I'll maybe pop it up there out the way. And I think I have to decide. I definitely don't want these two. Like I've come to that conclusion because I've got this in transparent sticker format. So I'm going to put those in the dump pile. They're going to go back there. So I kind of want my owls in though. And then I have to pick. Let's have a look at these mushroom stickers, guys. You can help me out with this. I kind of want to steer away from the ones that are. How many have I got? I've got 5. Um, this one, there's a lot of green in the background, you know, when you look through the arch, so I don't want that one. So I'm kind of thinking this one's got a lot of green in the foreground as well. So I was trying to think maybe, I'm not sure about this one. Right, what do we think out of these 3? Has anybody got any preferences? Now, bearing in mind, I might like snip these in half and only use a half, but has anybody got any preferences out of these 3 as to what they think might fit? Maybe with or without the owls, or but just with what's going on here. Would love your input on that. April doesn't have the patience to fussy cut anything, but I love gluing stuff down. I was really, really pleased when I learned the term fussy cut. I cannot fussy cut for toffee, obviously, dexterous thing, problem. I do try my best though, and usually get on mostly okay. MJ drowsies, it's quite early, only up as the pup needs some medicine. Oh, bless. So Jan likes the top one. Patty made her brothers a scrapbook for Christmas one year that started with my parents as babies up until they were born, and then each book was about each brother. Oh, so all the first part of all the books are the same. That's amazing. Okay, MJ, Pete likes the top one as well. Or he likes bottom left. Oh, there's another one for bottom left. Mary likes them all. Okay, so I think we're between these two. Right, so we're down to these two then. I kind of like this one because it's got more detail in it, but I love this one because the mushrooms are huge. Huge. Can you distress the background with ink? Yeah, I could do. I was kind of thinking like maybe at the corners. What I like to use, Elise, is pan pastel. Just because it's something I've got to hand. I don't have any distress inks. Again, I'm not really a scrapbooker, but I find that using the pan pastels and just a little bit of fixative works really well. So do you think then, Elise, that I could maybe do that round the corners? excuse me, and maybe darken that down a little bit. Or I've still got this tissue paper. We could do something with the tissue paper. I really want these owls as well. I've got owl problems. Oh, Patty, it was the first time both brothers were speechless. Oh, it's so cute. I don't know. I feel like this is because I see. I really like it for texture, like texture. Can you distress the background to sticker to make the green? This is really, really shiny, like glossy, so probably not. I mean, I could try, but I don't really know if it's worth it. As long as the fussy isn't too small, yeah. Maybe I could just have it like along the bottom. No, I'm kind of yeah, I'm going off this tissue idea. I think I'm going to dump that as well. Right, okay, so let's go with this sticker, I think. Because I'm trying to see this one's quite green as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one because I could chop it there and have that in, you know, like this. Oh, that's not a terrible idea. And then my wee owlies could be hiding like somewhere up here. You see, again, I could fussy cut just round the owls. They could be hiding up the top somewhere. Stickers out, wait. Oh. I'm kind of liking where this is going. Like, this is fitting in quite nicely together. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pop this out the way just now. I need to go and get my sharp scissors. I'll be back in a second. Chop, chop! Thea says as long as I don't have to use scissors. Well, see, the funny thing is that I find it easier to start with scissors and then move on to a scalpel, but or you know, an X-Acto knife, whatever you want to call it. But I am much more scared with an X-Acto knife than a pair of scissors because obviously, although the stress on your hand is worse with scissors, the chances of you chopping a bit of yourself off or slicing something or cutting yourself is much, much smaller. It's almost non-existent. So oh, they're so freaking cute. Let me just chop that off along there. I might just keep it like that. Okay, I'm not mad. Super cute stickers, just wish you could keep your eyes open. Well, MJ, you don't have to stay on account of us. You know, we won't think that you're being rude. I appreciate you popping in to say hello. I really do. I feel like the owls should be up high because they're owls. Like, we could chop him off there too. Oh no, because then we're going to lose all the... Oh, I don't know. Do they belong down the bottom? Maybe? I really want to pop these in. See this sticker here? I really want to, I don't know how I'm going to get rid of all the white though because it's, you know, in between these trees here. But I really feel as if I want to tuck that in behind there. Maybe I'll just stick it in. Maybe I'll just do it. Yeah, April, you've dexterity issues. Yeah. Oh, this is, oh no, that's not going to look that out of place. Look, see if I just lift that up a wee bit. Oh. Oh. Oh, I think I've ruined it. Oh no. Oh, it's poking through. Right, I'm going to have to find something to cover that up, but that's okay because we're going to layer stuff up. I'm still feeling like this is the way forward, but I want something along the bottom here. Right, hang on. It's coming together. Thea's hand doesn't like scissors. I find it very difficult, and that's one of the things that I've been kind of looking at up until now with the sticker sets that I put out in the stash shop. I cut those stickers by hand. Mr. Jem helps me as well. He's really good for that, and Mama Jem helps too when she comes because working with scissors is really hard on my hands. But it's getting to a point now where the quantities of stickers that I need to make are getting larger, and my hand just can't cope with it. So I was kind of looking at something like a silhouette or a cricket cutter. They're very expensive though. So I haven't done any major decisions on that, but I think just for the sake of like physically being able to do it and making a good job of it, it's getting harder and harder. So I might have to look into something like that. It's not worth it getting them printed by, the many merch companies because their prices are outrageous compared to what it would cost me to do and, actually spend the labour doing it myself. So I'm kind of like on the fence about that just now, but it's something I think that I'm going to have to address eventually because it's just not that. And the thing is, with my hand, it's something that I've just got to deal with. Is it's only going to get worse. It's never going to get better. And while I manage, fine. There's no problem. It might not always be like that, and I'm not getting old now as well. Owls in the top right. Yeah, I'd kind of thought about that, but I think they kind of belong down here now. Because if I pop them in there, I'm going to lose all the babies unless I cut off half of the bottom there. Because that would cut out some green. Oh, Jan. I'd wait for Black Friday to see. Well, right, I was talking to Julia about the crickets, and she said one of the problems with them now is that they're very heavily focused on getting you onto a subscription, whereas with a silhouette, it's not quite as bad. MG, well, you're all such lovely people that I appreciate. Oh, thank you. I'm just going to turn out the light. We'll see you in a future stream. I hope you have a good nap, MG, and you can always watch it back on the replay. Ellie says cave fundraising for a cricket. I would be there. Ah, put it on the next page at that right hand side. Oh, you mean the other side of this sticker, or are you talking about the owls, Jan? There's a starter bundle on Prime Day for 149.99. No, it's not a subscription for the machine. It's for what you can do with it digitally. The owls. Oh, I don't want to go over the page though. I already know what my next page is going to be. I'm going to do like a Halloween page because I've got lots of really sort of spooky and slightly morbid type scraps as well. Yeah, money grabs. Well, that what Julia was saying to me was that if you've got quite an industrious output of things like stickers, then the subscriptions are absolutely worth it. But for me, I've got such a low output, it's probably not worth it. Patty's got a cricket. Rarely use it. Should try again. Okay. Yeah, I'm there for it, Patty. See now, right, if I do it this way, I'm back, right, concentrate, Jem, come on now, right, put that in the dump pile. If I do that, I've got these washi tapes, like, these are really pretty. I feel like this one's really out of place because it's like jewellery. This looks like a really cheap, again, this was one that was given to me, I think this has come from like Temu or somewhere. Um, just for the record, when it comes to things like this now, I actively avoid sites like Temu, Wish, TikTok for stuff like this. It's mostly mass-produced AI stuff, which I don't agree with. I like to go to Etsy and get stuff from the handmade stuff from sellers, and I always ask the question. Now, I was approached recently via email from a company that make colouring books, and they wanted to send me one of their new colouring books and review it on the channel, and it wasn't an artist, it was a company, and the first thing I asked was, is this a collaboration or is this AI generated? And they never responded. So I waited a week, never got a response, and I just sent an email saying, look, appreciate you contacting me, but unfortunately I can't support anything that's AI generated. It kind of goes against my principles. Please don't take this as a slight. It's just my personal feelings. Blah blah blah. Thanks, but no thanks. And I've noticed that a lot of the scrapbooking stuff's gone the same way. So I'm quite careful now that I research and kind of like do my due diligence before I buy things like this now, because I'm not prepared to support AI generated stuff, and I'm quite happy to pay a little bit more, because you're not talking about paying like £10 or £20 more for something. You're talking about pennies or a couple of pounds, which I personally can afford and would rather do. I know that everyone's not in that position, but my moral compass is stronger on that front. Let's have a little look at this though. I don't even know how to get into this. It's got lots of non-recyclable plastic. Oh, that's the other thing. It's not relevant at all to what we're talking about. But just for those of you that purchase from the Stash shop, I am taking steps. I've already replaced most of my packaging to be stuff that's mostly recyclable. The last thing is brown packing tape. You know, the shiny brown plastic tape that you use. When my current stock runs out of that, I am transferring to recyclable brown paper tape instead. So I am close to completing my mission of having like 95% recyclable packaging. Okay, let's take a look at this. It's there's yeah, okay, there's a pumpkin in there, right? So I was thinking that if we did that, we could maybe cut it down a wee bit. We wouldn't lose most of the yeah, okay. Oh, males are stuck. I think I might include that actually. I think that's going to look quite nice. Right, we need to make some decisions here before I move on to. I'm not feeling the clocks. Hey, little owl. Maybe that one could go up there, Jan. Look. Right, okay. I think the clocks are clocks. Clocks. Jan's watch just told her that the colour cave is live. Really? Wow. Yeah, no response is all you need. And this is the thing, and that's something else that I've really sort of like I've doubled down on it recently. I contacted a local company about printing the Christmas cards that I was talking about earlier, because I will always support a small business, and especially a local small business, over, you know, using anything else. And I was ready to go, and I have had no response to an email. And I just thought, do you know what? I don't have time to chase people and babysit people who are supposedly just doing their jobs. So I sent a follow-up email saying, I haven't heard from you, you know, what's going on? And I got nothing back within 3 days. So I decided at that point just to cut the cord. I was like, no, do you know what? I don't have time for this. I don't have the energy for it. It's not my job to make sure you're doing your job. So I'll take my business elsewhere. And that's what I did. And I'm kind of sticking by that. And it sounds quite kind of brutal, but I'm so fed up of people not doing what they say they're going to do. I'm just looking through these little vellum mushrooms. I think we need. I don't want to start pulling all these out. But oh, that one's a bit crazy. Oh, there's loads in here. I only thought there was a couple in here. Geez, oh. Some of them look a little bit phallic as well. Goodness me. No, I think I want a mushroom. See, this is like a selection of mushrooms. I want like singular. Do a bit of fussy cutting. These wee books are absolutely adorable though. Like, these are lovely. I kind of like this one, but I kind of like these tall skinny ones as well, but obviously I can't fussy cut that. That's going to be a disaster. But I'm going to pull it out anyway. I'm going to live dangerously. I do have these semi-transparent sticker ones as well though. And they're not printed on vellum, but I think it's very close to that kind of thing. Do I want this in the background somewhere? Can maybe pop that in there. kind of looks a bit out of place. Because I've got this to cover up. I think one of these mushrooms would be better for that. It's not going to cover it up completely, but it's going to dull it down. So if we look at that, and then we think about a little bit of this across the bottom in some sort of capacity. I really like the busyness of doing this as well, because in real life, I wouldn't say I'm a minimalist, that's far too strong a phrase, but I don't like clutter, I don't like patterns, I like clear spaces, and I like things to have like everything's in its place sort of thing. So I feel like this is almost kind of like a bit of a release from it. But right, okay. I think what I need to do, I need to stick this sticker down, but I think that I want that on top, and I want this in behind, and I want that in behind that. So let's peel back the layers a little bit. That's just not doing it for me. I'm not really sure where to go from here. Maybe I can line that up there. I feel like that might be what I'm looking for. So yeah, right, let's do that. I've found that I've got one of these, you know, like I call it a sticky mouse. It's like sticky tape on a roller. I don't find that they work well with this vellum type situation. So I think I'll just get the old, the good old Pritt stick out. We'll just go for it. It does make it curl up a little bit, but it sticks down like a beast. There we go. So I want to line that up with the top edge. I'll pop that there. I'm having such a good time. Bailey J in Canada has some wonderful fall washi tape. I love Bailey J. The owl on the top of the mushroom is great. Do you like that? Yeah, okay. I came in late. Did you show a copy of the Christmas card? Not yet, at least because the agreement with the person that has asked for it, you know, like for the commission, hasn't seen the final card yet, so I am not disclosing it just yet. But I will do in the next couple of days. It seems like they didn't want my money. Oh. Go to someone who responds. I got to love a Pritt stick. Yeah, that's like a school staple, isn't it? I was actually wondering, like, do these ever go off? Do they have like an expiry? Because I'm pretty sure I've had this for absolutely ages. It is a big one, like it's a big chunky monkey. It still seems sticky though, to be fair. Like, you know. Oh, that edge isn't sticking. I don't have enough Pritt stick on it. Let's do some more sticking. The other thing I forgot to mention earlier, I don't know how I forgot about it. Our Aqua Buddy stickers, they're ready to go as well, so they're going to be popping up in the shop as well. I am particularly excited about that because you guys had so much input into that. And they've just turned out so well. You can't look at them and not smile. That's just, you know, like just so good. Right, so I need to cut this here. And I want this in behind. Good grief, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so the best thing to do here is peel off half the sticker. This is where my hands really struggle. Oh, hi JC. Oh, we've got Daria as well, just in from a chilly golf morning. The weather is absolutely horrendous here, Daria, if that's any consolation. It's like 45-mile-an-hour winds. It's been freaking miserable all day. And we're in single figures, we're well into single figures Celsius, so it's dire, absolutely dire. I'm glad you braved it though and went out for a round of golf. Always good for you. Yay for Aqua Buddies. Yep, they are ready to go. They look amazing. Would anybody like to see that? I've got some in packets. Would you like to see them? Because if you would, I'll show you. I'll go get them. Tracy, you're right, it is. I just felt like a wee change of pace. I've been quite kind of burnt out this last little while, and I started this wee scrapbook page, which is, I don't scrapbook very often, but I started it ages ago and then never did anything with it. So I thought today was the day, and I thought this would be a nice little bit of variety. Come on, stickers! I can't even get started with a pair of tweezers. Hang on. You do want to see them? Patty likes Bailey's journals. The paper is amazing. Oh, don't talk to me about paper. Don't excite me, Patty. I thought I'd started an edge there, and clearly I haven't. No. Is the Pope Catholic? Yes, Aqua Buddies. Right, as soon as I've managed to get this sticker to cooperate, I will go and get one of the sticker packs for the Aqua Buddies. I'm really, really pleased with Basil. He's turned out, oh, like physically in print, far better than I thought he would. I was kind of concerned about him, but he's actually my favourite. So I cannot get this going. You'd think with nails my length this would not be a problem. And do you know what makes me laugh even more? If you ever watch any of the shorts or the compilations on YouTube or any other platform for that matter, and the scrapbooking pages are edited and cut so that they're all really smooth and like very efficient. It's not how it goes in real life. You're getting the raw experience here, guys. Obviously, again, not being a consummate professional at all. Oh yay, there we go. Oh, thank God for that. Okay, now we're jamming. Okay, good. Okay, so best way to do this is to, I think, about there-ish, not stick down that top edge. The good thing about these transparent stickers is they're easy, they're repealable, so it's not too bad for if you want to move things about, like you're maybe not happy with the exact positioning of something. I don't know what it is, but the really glossy transparent ones are the absolute pits. Like they're so bad, but you can see these wee semi-transparent ones are much, much more biddable. Right, let's pop this little dude in here. There we go. I'll stick him down. Oh, I've got too much stick on this side now. So basically I can put that in and then I can like wedge that into the corner. Again, if anybody scrapbooks like properly, like a normal person, I'm sure you're cringing right now because there's probably better ways of doing this. With this being a handmade book as well, the spine isn't always completely straight or perfect, but if we do that and then sort of half stick it round, get it right into the crease. Oh yeah, I like that so much. And then we can just take our scalpel. And I didn't want a sheep. I know, after all that with Basil, I didn't want a sheep, but yes. So we just pull. I don't want it stuck down because that edge is ridiculous. So if I just... I say, unfortunately, I've got to go over the bumps of the hand binding, so it's not going to be perfect. But I can pull that off. Oh, a moment's lament for the other half of the sticker, but it's so pretty. Like, it's just so pretty. Do you think I could stick one of your stickers to my new kettle? The temperature tolerance for the paper that I use, or the glossy sticker paper, it's quite high, but I don't think it would tolerate repeated use of a kettle. I did have one of my close friends, she actually did it as an experiment for me. I sent her some stickers way back at the beginning when I was picking paper, and she stuck one to her kettle, and it was about 4 or 5 months, but eventually it started to discolor, and then it started to peel up at the edges. So yeah, you know, maybe put it on the handle. 3 for £1 at a shop. Great price. I don't think I want to keep this other half, honestly. You know, in the end, you know. I'm sure it would be lovely for something, but I'll keep it. I'll stick it back on the backing for now. That's now stuck with static keyboard. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's looking quite nice. Right, I'm gonna go and get the Aqua Buddy stickers. Stickers. So this is what our little sticker packs look like. My wee basket. Oh yeah. So Basil's in the front. I think Basil's in the front of most of them. Gloria is obviously, she's part of this as well, Gloria the Mermaid. But as a packet, they're such a cheery and bright like collection of stickers, and that's really what I was hoping to achieve. Obviously, Aqua Pig's in there too. Yeah, I must have put them all in the same order because you can't see the Clock Marine at all, but Clock Marine is in there. I don't have any loose ones yet because I'm out of sticker paper. But they just look great. The stickers have turned out really well, and I am so thankful to you guys for your input because if I hadn't had it, I think that sticker pack would have gone in a completely different direction. I don't think it would have turned out at all the way it ended up, and I for one am very glad about that. So thank you. And then I shall stick it on the cupboard above the kettle. Okay. They've turned, honestly, they've turned out so much better. One of the things I would like to say about that though is I edited those stickers in Procreate rather than Photoshop, and that's the first time I've done it like that. All of you know, like Photoshop and I are not friends. I actually fell out with Photoshop at 11 o'clock this morning to the point where it put me in a stinking mood. And I had to go for a walk and pull myself together and like have a word with myself in the corner. It actually like spoiled my day, and working in Procreate is so much easier. But the translation from Procreate into print with my particular printer, they seem to really like each other. So the stickers turned out far better without me having to tweak things or manipulate things compared to what would have happened if I'd done it through Photoshop. So I for one am very, very pleased. Like I really am. Jan has our card of pooping birds there at the moment, but it's starting to cuddle. That's still one of my biggest surprises ever. The pooping birds, the comedy birds, if some of you remember that. I basically drew that on a video when I was high on painkillers, and it became quite a popular product, which never ceases to amaze me now because the things I don't think that are going to do well do well, and vice versa. Like I pour my heart and soul into an artwork, and it gets like a lukewarm response, and then something that's kind of like off the cuff or whatever seems to do really well. I just need to decide where to stick the owls based on this. This must be a repeating pattern, surely. God, it's big. Because I want the big stuff. It stops sticking at that side. So if I did that there, so let's see where my owls are going to sit. Because I don't want the little dudes getting lost amongst the flowers, and that's get oh look. But I kind of want like this part covered up. So if we went that way slightly, oh, that's cute. So like there. Can I now do this further over? That is a really long repeating pattern. Yeah, I think maybe there. The only thing is this little dude's got a butterfly like in front of his face. Owl placement, always an issue. Maybe we can move him this way a little bit. Move them. There? There. That's what I need. Right there. So. Oh, I can't do this with my bad hand. I'm just wanting to tack the owls where they are because when I lift this, the static is going to pull up the scrap as well. So at least that'll anchor it. And if I chop this, God, I've got everything in the way. I'm like Captain Chaos here today. But see again, not a seasoned scrapbook at all. Right, so I can put that back on the roll, that's fine. And I can line that up with the edge of the paper now. Right, okay, cool. So that would be like there. Yes, that is perfect. I'm really happy with that. So I'll chop that just shy of that little weenie butterfly there. Like there. Oh, good stuff. What kind of iPad did you get, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, there was great debates about this. Someone made a comment under the last stream when I talked about iPads. I want to say it was Lioness Feather. I might be telling you absolute fibs. But she made a valid point as well, or whoever it was that made the comment made a valid point. The iPad that I bought, I deliberately waited and saved up for because they're expensive. I bought an iPad Pro, and it was the bigger one, not the newest one that's just come out, but the model before. Um, but whoever it was that made that comment said that an iPad Air does the same job. It doesn't have the same processing and performance power, but in terms of using like the Apple Pencil with it, it does a similar job. But I went for the iPad Pro, and I have so far zero regrets, like none, zero. And it was worth because I have been thinking about getting an iPad for Procreate purposes for at least 2 years, and I've just been putting a little bit of money away because I just feel, I mean, iPads are really expensive anyway. All Apple stuff's expensive, and I was kind of hard and like trying hard to justify it, and I couldn't really. So I spent a lot of time researching and then waiting until I decided that I did really, really need one. Um, and say no regrets. Still an obscene amount of money, but saved up for it, waited. Definitely right decision. Well, the interesting thing now is, Mary, see the newest iPad Pro that's come out. It's thinner and lighter than the iPad Air. It's an obscene amount of money, but it kind of makes the Air redundant because it's doing more airiness than the Air's doing. So take from that what you will. But say they are, I suppose it depends on what you consider a realistic side for myself. If it's something that I'm using every day in one form or another, I have no problem justifying a high price for something as long as I can afford it. And if that means even saving up a little bit, then that's fine. Um, what I don't think is justifiable is spending four figures on something that gets used occasionally, even if it is really useful on that occasion. That's not for me. But as I say, I'm really glad that I spent time thinking about it and contemplating it because I do use it every day. Um, I also use it for good notes a lot, which is not something I thought I would do, but I'm trying to rescue myself. Again, neurospicy bit in me, I'm a chronic list writer, and I have got notepads, post-it notes, diaries, notes on my phone, notes stuck to the wall. Mr. Jem's got notes for me. And I was really trying to find a way to like center myself and bring it all together in one place. And I have started using the iPad for that. I'm not quite at the point where I've got everything all in the one place, and I think I'll always have my paper blanks diary because, tangible, touchy type stuff. But it has definitely eased my organizational chaos that I create for myself as well. So I'm finding other benefits to it that I hadn't necessarily factored into my justification in the first place. So, the Apple Pencil thing though, you can buy an older generation iPad. Papa Gem's got the older iPad Pro than I've got, and it doesn't take the newest Apple Pencil, which has got like tilt function on it. That's something I wasn't willing to compromise on because my drawing tablet that I've got connected to my PC has tilt function and the pressure sensitivity is mental. So I didn't want to go backwards with that, which is why I opted for the next one up, which takes the Apple Pencil 2, and that's the one that you can stick to the top of it to charge it. It's a very personal thing though, and I will never push stuff like that and say, "Oh no, don't buy this. You've got to buy this." But for me, I genuinely feel as if I've made the right decisions, and I'm so glad that I did because it was a lot of money for a mistake, if you know what I mean. Murray is debating the Apple iPad Pro 11-inch, £1,100 with the Pencil Pro. Want to maximise the life of it as I'm only being using it for procreating and possibly watching stuff. I wouldn't switch most of the stuff I do on the laptop to it. It's more for downtime. Well, this is the thing, right? Um, the see, I've got the bigger screen, right? It just so happens to be sitting right here. I've got the bigger screen. It is heavy. Like see if you're sitting with it like this, it's heavy. And a lot of the time I have to like prop it up if I don't have it in like the proppy uppy case. There's good terminology there. The case that it's in just now, this is just like a backing case. This one's got a Bluetooth keyboard that attaches to it. That's why it's in it. Because because just now I am writing the manual for Mama and Papa Jem, who are coming to doggy sit and look after the house while Mr. Jem and I go on holiday. And we haven't been away since we've moved. So there's things in this house that my parents just don't know how to use, and they don't know the routine and they don't know how it works. So they just want it written down so that they don't have to bother me when I'm on holiday. Um, and I went to start it yesterday, but when I was actually at working at my proper job, I ended up running on, and it was like 6:15, and I thought I don't want to sit in the cave anymore. So I put my keyboard on and I sat in the living room, and the TV was on in the background, and Mr. Jem came out and I'm sitting tapping away. That's not something that I would ever have planned to use this for. But guess what? Because it's got a big screen and you can do things like stick a bloody Bluetooth keyboard on it. It's great. And when I turned on my laptop today and I went into Microsoft Word, lo and behold, what I'd done last night was here because it's all linked together. So there's the unexpected stuff as well. The way that I decided to get that one though was to buy a used one. I went onto eBay, and the one that I ended up getting, it was actually a first year uni student whose parents had bought him it for his Christmas. And when he went back to uni and started using it, he realised that everything was more or less Microsoft based and everything on the iPad was really awkward, and he ended up not using it and he bought himself a Surface Pro instead. So I was very lucky because it was virtually unused. There was no screen protector on it, and there's zero marks on the screen, and it was still in the original box. Like you could tell. But I sat on that and I scoured. I really took my time and waited for the right one because it wasn't urgent. It wasn't a necessity, and I. I can't remember exactly, but I think I paid about £800, and that iPad came with the original receipt in the box, and it was less than 6 months old. So what can you say? It's one of those things, but it's a very personal decision. It was a bit like when I bought the laptop, which I'm still not entirely sure that was the best idea. But that's just my experience. So if that helps any of you, then great. Elisa's asking if I've ever bullet journaled. I used to bullet journal before I started arting. That I bullet journaled a lot. I'm kind of liking what's going down the bottom here. I don't know where I'm going to be popping in these bad boys though. I feel as if maybe we can. These might look a bit out of place. Let me pop that and peel that up a little bit. Let's see. If you've got an eye beanie, Mary, you might as well get the big one, honestly, because my mum's got an eye beanie, and I gave it a wee because she's got an iPad Mini, and I gave her eye beanie a wee bash with the big one, and it's great. It sits perfect. I did get a bargain, Jan, but that poor person, like that poor guy on eBay that was selling it, I asked him like a million questions, and I was like, look, I'm not being funny, but there's a lot of people like scamming people, and they're all this kind of stuff, and I just want to absolutely make sure. that I'm doing the right thing here. And thankfully, he was very gracious. He was very patient with me. Oh no. Okay, I feel like that needs to go in there as well. Yes. Right. Let's see what I can do here. This is the thing though. I feel that when it comes to technology, the problem that we've got is technology advances so quickly. So whatever it is you've got can become obsolete fairly quickly. And I kind of feel the way about technology the way I do about new cars. Like the minute you drive a brand new car off the forecourt, you lose money on it. If I can get something that's nearly new that hasn't been abused, it seems like a better option. Most of the tech that is in the cave for YouTube and live streaming, I have bought used, and none of it's done me a disservice. The main camera, this camera, which is a Canon EOS 90D, bought that second hand. Um, the microphone that I had before this one, which is the one that we bought just recently, it was second hand, and I paid something silly like £10 for it. And that was a Rode microphone, so really good brand, really reliable, and that did us for nearly 7 years in the 18 no 6 years in the cave. So no complaints there. Uh, the only thing that I've got, I'm trying to think what I bought new. My drawing tablet that's connected to my PC, I bought that new, but I got that in an Amazon Lightning deal, so I didn't pay full price for that. And this laptop, I bought brand new as well, which I got in a Black Friday deal. But more or less everything else is used. But if you box clever and you take your time, do your research, you can get yourself some really good bargains, and it's not going to be to your detriment. Right, we're starting to look a bit more like it now. I'm not happy with this line here, but I feel like we could pop in another mushroom, but it should be behind our owl. What have I got left? I've still got a little butterfly. I've got this little mushroom ticket, which is really cute. And I've got this mushroom too. Hmm. Have a think about that. Elise is saying there's a perfect stand for the iPad, fully adjustable laptop stand. Yeah, like, see if I was using it for a lot of stuff, that would be fine. But I tend, like, I'm a bit like Miri, mine's for like downtime mostly. So I'm usually sitting on the couch with it, on my lap kind of thing. If I've got it here, it's fine. This case that's got the keyboard that attaches to this part here. There's a little bit here that pulls down, and you can like have that by itself, so it's pretty good. My only complaint, and this is going to sound really stupid, is this is the iPad the right way up. See if I touch that, you can see the screen. Where you attach the Apple Pencil, because it's magnetic, to charge it off your iPad is on the right hand side. I am left handed. It is a total pain in the freaking ass. Apart from that, that is literally my only complaint. Apart from that, I have no complaints. But I've got some of you saw my other iPad case that I've got, and it's like a not a softer case, but it's like a squishy outside with like a galaxy on it. That's like my casual everyday case. But see, it's just in that one because I was the keyboard, and I really like see that hybrid between being able to touch the screen and use a keyboard. I like that better than using a trackpad on a laptop with a keyboard. I'm 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 hardcore at heart. Like I would rather have a mouse than a keyboard. That's because I'm old, but I'm actually like I'm adapting quite well to that hybrid situation of having a touch screen and a keyboard and ignoring the trackpad. And it's actually quite nice, especially when you've got a dodgy hand. It's pretty good. Like I'm kind of enjoying myself. It's kind of funky. Maybe we could. I feel like I need to distress this mushroom label. I need to fussy cut this out as well. Okay, true test of the fussy cut. Yeah, Mary, that's why I future-proof my laptop. Yeah, well that was what I was trying to do with my laptop. It's sickeningly overpowered. It was a lot of money, and it'll be 4 years old this December, and it's still like if you compare the spec to a laptop that you buy now, it's standard. So I understand that. Thea says glass splinters are all vacuumed up. What did I miss? What did you drop, Thea? That's what I want to know. Is this a similar to the Mr. Gem situation? I'm aware as well. Jock is in that bed down there, behind the desk, and he's starting to stir a wee bit, so he might need a bathroom break. I tried before Mr. Gem came in and like ruined my day. I was trying to encourage Jock to go outside, but see, because the weather's so bad, he's at that age where unless he really needs to go, he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. So we are at 20 past 4 though. Normally I have a little intermission and we haven't had one today. So and we might be doing that just shortly. I am concentrating here. This is the best I can do with the fussy cut. And I'm sure some of you that do actually collage and scrapbook and stuff, you're like screaming internally. But this is one of these things, like I'm doing my best. My hand hurts already, but not to a point where I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. Oh. Well, apart from that tiny bit there, that's not a bad effort. I'm actually all right with that. Oh, there's a bit jagged there, but I need to put those in. See, the weird thing about this is I don't feel it here. It sends a searing pain up these tendons here because I've got very little feeling in most of my fingers. It's up here, but I feel as if someone's like, see all these ligaments and tendons that run up your hand from your knuckles? I feel as if someone's going like that and like constricting them to the point where it hurt. I suppose it's like someone putting their hands around your throat, except in hand form. Like it's really unpleasant, but in small doses like that, it's absolutely fine. Right, I am going to distress this, so to speak. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to leave you to talk about food for a little minute. I'm going to try and rouse Jock and see if he will venture outside. So it might come back a bit windswept and interesting. On my way back over, I'm going to grab my pan pastels and some fixative, and we're going to distress this and make it look a little bit more weathered than it already is, so that it fits in with what we're doing. But I think you'll agree, for all the blethering and messing about we've done, we're looking okay so far. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, we're talking about trackpads. Yeah, trackpads and fingers, they don't work very well. It's not a combination. Ah. Oh, Marilee's. Oh, you have a hue on canvas. I love the canvas. Like, I love mine. I've got the big jumbo one and it's ace. Ulrika's not used to a touchscreen. It's strange to me. I'm so used to keyboard shortcuts and mouse. Well, that's what I'm saying, Ulrika. Like, so am I. But I actually find having the touchscreen quite nice. Like, I quite like it. I'm like, oh, I can do this. Apple trackpads tend to be excellent, but for Windows, just get a Logitech. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm not. Yeah, just the mouse I've got. I can't remember what brand it is. It's a Razer mouse. It's a gaming mouse I've got, but it's absolute beans. Um, Also, as well, although I'm left-handed, I use the mouse with my right hand because I've got more feeling in that hand. But even before I injured my hand, I was still used it right-handed because in the days of communal computers, the mouse was always on the right, and that's just what I'm used to doing. But yeah, I would much rather have a mouse. Minnie's got a Logitech wireless mini mouse. Boss has gone home, so only one chat to deal with. Well, that's it, Jan. You can relax now. Ulrika's got some very small detail scissors. Well, I've got this is quite a common thing. Like it was trending for a little while. They're actually sewing scissors. Um, I find them good sometimes, but see, for the comfort of my knuckles, I find the bigger scissors better. But these little scissors I've got, they're so cute. Look, they're so pretty, but they're really like, see round though that oh chop up 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 up. But if you need a tiny little point or a tiny little set of blades, they're great for fussy cutting. But I actually get on better with these bad boys because I can get them all the way down, and again, I've got more feeling at the like near the knuckles than I do near my fingers, so that's why they suit me better. But yes, these definitely have their place, and I love them just because they're so pretty. And you all know I love a good gradient, and that sort of goes a lovely blue into like a turquoise color. Like, oh, I could show you. But yeah, I do have them sitting there. Right, guys, I'm going to pop off for a wee minute. I should be back shortly. By the time I get back, I expect you to have all talked about what you're making for dinner or what you're eating and you're hungry and all the rest of it. So I shall be back as soon as possible. Enjoy yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. You all know the drill by now. Well, good grief. Uh, it's still windy outside. I nearly got blown away there. Oh, that was outrageous. Oh, I don't know. I think it's supposed to ease up now. Like, I've got hair in all the wrong place. I don't even know what's going on. Oh, I think it's supposed to ease up. Um, yeah, the wind's supposed to die down now, supposedly. I wish it would hurry up. But yeah, wet, wet, wet. Typical Scottish weather. Glad to see you've all had your food chats. I find it quite interesting that Jana has the conversation with her boss about what they're having for tea before they leave. I never ever talk to my proper job colleagues about food ever. 1 minute it will be 16:30 and the work laptop goes off and the MacBook goes on. Oh yeah, Patty's Turkey Day is coming up. Yay! Brother and sister-in-law are making it and bringing it over for mum and I. Oh, that's so amazing! That, do you know something that's very nice that's happened in the Gem household? We don't see a lot of Mr. Gem's family because they're all spread out and they're all quite far away. Like our nearest family are 3 hours away, which is quite a long way in terms of Scottishness. But his mum and his oldest sister are going to come and see us in December. They're going to come for a wee visit, so that's really nice. I'm looking forward to that too. Because we have no official holidays really. Well, we have Halloween and Guy Fawkes night, like fireworks night, but they're not recognised holidays. So it would be nice for them to come up in December. They're going to come up mid-December and see us, and we can have a little afternoon or whatever. Maybe they'll stay the night. It's really nice when someone else cooks food and brings it to you, they'll like it. Right, I don't know what I'm gonna do up here. The other thing I've got, I've got this little tag which I quite like, but that's quite obtrusive. Intrusive. I've got embellishments as well. So I've got a little wax stamp here that's a tree. There, if I tilt it like that, you can see it. And I was thinking about plonking that somewhere, but I feel as if it should be like down in a corner. But I'm aware that on my previous pages, the things that are standing out, most of them are in like the bottom half of the pages. So I don't know, maybe we could. I'm just not happy with this here. That is concerning me. It's like too much of a solid line. I forgot to bring the pan pastel. Let me go and grab my pan pastel. We need the brown. That's the earth colours. I'll grab these. Oh, right, let's see what we've got. Double-edged sword as it's Thanksgiving, but also years since. Oh. Forgot to ask how much storage space your iPad has. Well, yeah, this is the thing. I think mine is. I don't actually know off the top of my head. It's not the smallest one. I think it's the one up from that many. Let me just check for you. I'll tell you. Where do I find this? This is the other thing, because I've got an iPhone, I go onto my iPad expecting things to be in the same places on my phone, but they're not unless you set them that way. Hang on a wee second, I will tell you. I feel like this is important information that you need to know. That place. Nope, it's not in there. Good job, well done. This is an effort. Oh, come on, settings, settings. No, it's not in there either. Bear with me, bear with me. I'm kind of like the expression we would use as a dog with a burst ball. Once I get hold of something, if it bugs me, I've got to sort it out, or else like I can't get it out of my mind. Right, let me just tell you it's in here. No, it's not. Good grief. You can tell this is new to me. I'll just do a search. Where are you in the settings? Okay, so mine is 128 gig, which is loads of space. Again, it really depends on what you're using it for, though. That's what you're mostly faffing about deciding on. Yeah, see, I think it really depends on what you're using it for. And mine is mostly Procreate images. So, like I'm not downloading like programs or films to watch or anything. So I don't know. Pick up iPad that's behind you, go to settings about at the top. Yeah, no, I don't even know where my settings app is, Jan. That's the problem. Well, see, that's the other thing as well, is you can add storage to them. So I don't know. I'm not really that bothered. Yes, I'm going to be using it mostly for Procreate. I need big storage. Well, again, it depends how much you're doing. Like, if you're, again, right, oh, I couldn't even tell, like, because I don't create a new Procreate canvas like every day. Like, I'm not in that kind of situation. Right now, my settings is in my recently used apps. Wallpaper, iPad storage. There we go. Okay, good. So a lot. Procreate is only taking up 1 gig so far of what I'm using. And that's been over like maybe 6 weeks or so. But I'm probably only doing, if you were to average it out, maybe 2 Procreate files a week. Again, depends on what kind of format and stuff you store it in them. But see, when you've got gigs and gigs, it's not a huge deal. Plus, as well, you've got your iCloud storage as well, so it depends on what you've got for that too. If you've already got iCloud storage, you can save it to the cloud. It doesn't need to be saved on the actual iPad. Yeah, mine's got USB-C. Patty's like settings general about you. Got it. Thanks, Patty. Thanks for your help, guys. I say still very much a learning curve for me. Trick is when you finish a project and move them off the machine in time. Well, that's like I have like sort of periodic clear outs, but I am much more active like with photographs and stuff with my phone than I am with my iPad, and I've yet to run out of storage on my phone, so it's almost like I do this for a living. Well, see, that's the thing though, when it comes to like data and files and things, I'm very well versed on PCs, not so much with Apple products because I've never had a MacBook. I don't want one. I very much enjoy my iPad though, so it's just a bit of a learning curve. 512 is massive, like it's absolutely massive. Because again, you think about the size of those files though. they're not huge. You're not talking about gigs and gigs of data for a Procreate document, even if it's got like 5 billion layers on it. Right, okay, so we're gonna we're gonna distress this. I can't remember whether this was my earth tones, like whether I've got them with the neutrals or this was. So I might have to do a bit of unscrewing here to find out what's going on. Yeah, look, there we go. Good old pan pastels. It's been a while. So I've got this manky old sponge, which is clearly my earth tones one. I think I'm just going to get a sheet of paper as well. The other thing I'd like to point out as well is today I've got like I'm dressed like I would be at 8 o'clock at night. I've got like joggy bottoms on. I'm not in my normal jeans. Just because the weather was absolutely disgusting earlier on when I took the dogs out. I came home and went for a shower and washed my hair because I was soaked right through. I'm not normally dressed like this, but I'm quite enjoying it almost being at like pajama status in a stream. There's something kind of cool about that. Right, let me just grab a bit of paper. Yes, yes, Prince, I hear you. Just gonna pop this down underneath. Yeah, USB-C. Well, this was something I didn't really notice. It wasn't something that I paid attention to. Mr. Jem's got an older iPad, and he's got the lightning adapter, whereas my charging port is a USB-C. So I was all ready to be charging my iPad with his charger. No, 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 not happening. Which I was slightly disappointed about. But now he's got the hump a little bit. Mr. Jem only uses his iPad for like browsing purposes, though he doesn't do anything, like work related or whatever on his. So, um, I've told him he's keeping it for another couple of years. He's gonna have to wait. He's just got what I call a normal person's iPad, though, just a standard iPad. Okay, well that looks suitably grubby, kind of like it. So let's lift that out of there. I'll take a kind of cleaner end of the sponge and just get off that excess in the middle. Yeah, oh, I like it so much better. It shows you my really jagged edge though that I've fussy cutted. Fussy cutted. Comfy clothes for crafting. Yes, PC is so much faster. Get a really fast external SSD. Yep. But yeah, it's the different end of the day for you though, Patty. To be fair, I was talking to someone about like we were talking about morning routines not that long ago, and I think it's just a farmer thing. But when Mr. Jem and I get up, which is usually like between 5:30 and 6:30 in the morning, we get out of bed and we put our what we call our outside clothes on. So for me, that's usually jeans and a t-shirt or jeans and a shirt, a thick pair of socks. Like I don't unless it's like a weekend, like maybe a Sunday, I might doss about in my pajamas for a wee bit. But I actually don't like staying in my pajamas. It makes me feel a bit dirty. I like to get up and get dressed. And being a bigger busted person as well, I like to put a bra on. Because it just makes me feel more like put together. But I find it quite interesting because people are like, "Oh, do you not go through and like make your cup of tea in your pajamas?" And I'm like, "No, I'm like dressed by the time I go through, and because I've got to take the dogs out as well, like I want to let them outside and blah blah blah. So yeah, I get dressed like as soon as I get up. But at the other end of the day, that's a different story because normally, if especially if I've been like it's a day if I'm working my proper job, which is 4 days a week, um, it's the end of the day. Like so, probably between 4 and 6 depends if I work out or not. If I work out, then obviously I get straight in the shower, but then I get into like comfy clothes. So today was really early for me. I'm not normally in joggy bottoms at this time of the day, but today was an exceptional circumstance, shall we say. Right, let's see how that's going to look. I kind of want that there, but I want to peel my owl up, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes. That just like it totally obliterates that line that was bothering me. Like this. Yes. And it also gives us a bit of contrast in the top part of the picture, which I kind of like. So let's stick that down. Yeah, I love pajamas. Yeah, well, that's the thing though, because that part of that same conversation was, um, I don't know if it's specific to living on a farm, but we have how do I describe this? We've got everyday clothes, but you've got outside clothes. So that's kind of like the clothes that you would wear in the house, but if you have to go outside and do something, it's not the end of the world. And that's what I tend to wear day to day. So there's specific jeans that I wear every day, and if I go outside and I get cow poo on me or oil or something, it doesn't really matter. Um, and then you've got proper farmer clothes, which is like overalls and waterproofs. And then I've got house clothes, which are not pajamas, but they're like comfier clothes, like uh, joggy bottoms, loose fitting joggy bottoms and kind of like looser fitting tops and things. And then you've got pajamas, but then you've got good clothes. And there's like normal people's good clothes. So if I was going to go into town and say I was going to like the post office and the supermarket, there's certain clothes that I would wear. And then you've got your good clothes, which is for when you're going out to like dinner or, like dresses and things like that. So but they're in categories, and it's not you put these clothes on in the morning and you wear them all day. There's there's certain sets of clothes. So like I put on my normal clothes, which is what I would wear in the house, but if I go outside it's okay. Those are the clothes that I walk the dogs in. And once I've done all that, then I come in, I'll go for a shower, and depending on what's happening in the evening, I will change. So the clothes that I'm in just now are the clothes that I would normally be in later on in the evening, but because I got wet and all the rest of it early on and I knew I wasn't going back outside, that's why I'm dressed like this. It's very complicated. Yeah, you just do it. You've got different grades of clothing basically. But see, like your house clothes, see if you've not done anything strenuous, like see if I haven't done any housework, if I've just been doing my proper job and like cooked dinner, those clothes get taken off and I will wear them again the following day because I've not sweated in them and I've not spilt or anything on, like they're not dirty. So I'll get maybe like 2 or 3 days out of those. So yeah, it's yeah, there's a system. Well, see, there's different clothes for different reasons, but there's also different clothes for different seasons as well. That's an entirely different thing altogether. Ah, Ulrika has scruffy but viewable by others. That's what I call socially acceptable. Nicer clothes for going out in PJs and garden. Right, see your garden clothes. That's like my clothes that I would wear in the house, but that I can go outside in. That's what garden clothes are. Yeah, but that's the thing, Mary. It totally depends on what you're doing. But also, as well, see, for me personally, I am naturally a person that sweats, and it doesn't matter whether I'm really overweight or really skinny, that doesn't make any difference. I am a sweaty person, and apparently, it's an Italian thing. So I probably change and wash more frequently than a lot of people would if they were doing the same level of activity as me, plus having a big bust as well. Like, I'm really sorry, this is too much information, but sweaty cleavage is totally a thing even when it's cold outside. And I like to feel clean and fresh even if I've been working hard. So that's probably part of it as well. But yeah, I change my clothes a lot. Of course, Scotland has seasons: cold, very cold, bloody cold, and freezing. You missed out, bastard freezing. Althea's medication made sweaty so much worse. Yeah, oh, that sucks. That sucks. Right, okay, I'm a bit happier with what's going on here. I'm just wondering if this wee butterfly's gonna. I think this mushroom's redundant now. I think it needs to go bye-bye. So put that in the dump pile. Maybe we should just pop that right there. I'm really wanting to put this wax stamp there now though. Like I kind of want that. But I've also got what I've got left out of my little shortlist pile here is these transparent stickers I was talking about earlier. And I'd kind of zoned in on this little lantern here because it's super cute. I think that might have a place somewhere. I just don't know where. I think maybe down in this corner. Down here. Oh, yeah. I don't know whether this top part's neglected a little bit or not. What else have we got in here? I don't think I've ever had the conversation with everyone about the complexity of my clothes routine. Oh, look at this little hammock. Oh, that's coming out. Look at this one, guys. Look. Oh, it's so cute. That could hang from there. And I can just snip off that edge a wee bit. Yes. Does anybody think that maybe I should do a little pan pastel edge along the top? You know, like a little distress look along there? Could that be a thing? Or you could get warm easily as well, yeah. Someone asked me if it was raining. It was not raining. Yes to the pan pastel on the top edge. Yeah, I think because this looks quite stark now in comparison to what's going on. Yeah, okay, cool. Agreed. Agreed, guys. I could use this, like, this is very dark. I think this kind of like slightly more reddish colour might be nice. I'm going to have to go super easy with this though. Let me pick this edge. Where's my dusty bit of paper gone? There we go. I don't want to cross-contaminate with what's on the back, so I'm just folding that over. Right, let's go really easy here. The thing is with these pan pastels, they're outrageously expensive, but a tiny, tiny bit goes a really long way. Definitely less is more. So let's just do that. Gently, gently. Oh yeah, that was such a good choice as well. Oh, we'll build it up gently. Speaking of pan pastels, anyone who has them, do you use the soft tools? Yes, 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 I do. I just can't be arsed just now because I've got about 65 million things sitting out on the desk in the cave. But if I am actually using them, you know, and I'm doing like a pastel painting, I use them all the time. And the tips and everything, you know, the little sponges that fit over the tool, they're very washable. You know, sometimes with things like you get them like, oh, you can wash them, and you never really get the pigment out of them. The pan pastel ones are great, and I always think it's like a case of like you get what you pay for. And I would highly recommend. They're bigger sponges as well. The ones I've got are like oval shaped, but they're quite thin, like they're quite flat. They are super, super soft, and you get really like subtle changes with them compared to some, like, because that's a makeup sponge, that's not a pan pastel sponge. And you can see there I've got quite like a harsh edge. The pan pastel ones, they are actually soft, like it does what it says on the tin. It does what it says on the tin. But what I find is if you press the pigment in, even if you've got quite harsh lines, as long as you dab it in, spend a little bit of time doing that, you can get a clean sponge and then you can smooth it out just like you would blend something. Um, you know, if you were doing it in pencil or with a paintbrush or whatever. See, if I start going like this now, this is making the white of this sticker stand out though, which is kind of cheesing me off a little bit because that's what I didn't want. But that's all the excess gone. So even if I just push that in with my finger, but like push away from what I'm doing, now you can see a lot of that's come off in my finger, but that's just taken that edge away. But as I say, unfortunately, it's done this here. I don't know if I'm that mad about that though. I can't fussy cut it. Like there's not really much I can do about that, honestly. I still kind of want to put this here though. Any suggestions for this up here, guys? Of course, we still haven't heard what Jem is having for tea tonight. Oh, come on, you should know that by now. It's stream night. It's pizza night tonight. Always pizza. I have them, but my sponges rip apart after only using them once. You're being really heavy-handed and you're scrubbing. You've got to be quite delicate with them, Thea. Ulrika read that as you don't wear clothes. What clothes will I be wearing? Do you mean to make my pizza or the clothes that I am wearing? I will transition from this to pyjamas later on. I find you have to have a very delicate touch. There we go. Thank you, Mary. I had to toss so many after using them in a background for 10 minutes and not rough paper either. Right, a question for you then, Thea. How old were the tools that you were using, like from the point that you bought them to when you used them? Also, or have they been sitting in high temperatures and or are they in sunlight? Should I not rub? No rubbing, like a stroking motion, like you would pet Nero. Like no rubbing, like very light circular motion or a stroking motion. That's the way forward. Definitely don't rub. Be more glide. But okay, if you want to use a very descriptive Scottish word, you would shush it across the page. Shh, 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 like this. Not shh, 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 like this. To be fair, Thea, you might have just got a dodgy batch. But I noticed, if you remember in the old cave, I had my easel that sat in the sunroom, and I had some of the soft tools in the drawer underneath the easel, so they were actually covered. But that easel, the back of the easel, was getting hit by sunlight all the time, and it was very warm in there. And I found that the sponges and the applicator tips that go on the little tools, they deteriorated really quickly, and I think it was to do with the heat rather than anything else. I give it a bash though. Like that's all I can say is give it a bash. Right, I'm not happy with this white situation. I wonder if I've got. Oh, do you know what I could do? I could get a Posca pen. Posca goes on shiny things. I'm gonna pop my little butterfly down here as well. Time for me to head off and have my tea. Ulrika, I hope you have a fantastic night. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope the gig is really good and you can tell us all about it in the Discord tomorrow. Have a good time and yeah, do the layering for going and getting the tube. Do the layering. And we'll see you later. Right, I'm going to grab a Posca. It might stand out a lot though, that's my only concern. I've got a better idea. Not varnish. Right, here's what I'm going to do. Can I give my Winsor and Newton a fixative a shake? A pastel pencil on top of shiny paper. Don't be silly. I literally have to go and hang out the window for this because the fumes from this are noxious. So bear with me. Make sure I've got the string thing out. I don't want to gas joke out either. Oh, it's so windy out here. Still here, guys. I'm still here. Oh, that is absolutely horrendous. If anyone ever has concerns about being overly cautious about the safety aspect of using this in an enclosed space, please don't be. Oh, I don't do well with this bit of here. I think that belongs over there, does it? Here we go. Yeah, I don't do well with chemically smells, but that stuff is the absolute pits. Yeah, I was literally hanging out the window. I'm going to fix the birds. Thankfully, the birds are all hiding because it's too freaking windy outside. I don't think they would have enjoyed that much either, though. I've got a little squirrel bouncing about. We've got two squirrels. We've got a fat squirrel and like a normal weight squirrel. And the fat squirrel is more active, ironically, because the trees where they live are on this side, and the grain shed is on that side. So our garden is the rat run between where the squirrels are living and obviously a more or less infinite food source for them. So you see the fat one going back and forth all the time. So he's obviously eating a lot, stocking up a lot. It's like two for the stash and like two for me. And the skinny squirrel we don't see as much. So blatantly not going back and forth as much. Very, very entertaining, but I don't think they would be very pleased with that either. Okay, that's actually kind of good because I needed to fix the pan pastel that I've used here, which I'm quite happy with. But now what I want to do is I want to see if the pan pastel will take on the edge of this very stark white sticker. I want this kind of reddish colour though, not the earth brown that I used on the mushroom ticket. Oh, there's another one. That's a different one. Yeah, okay. Right, let's see what happens here. Oh, oh. I don't think this is going so well. Oh, it's sticking. Oh, oh my goodness. It's tacky. Like it's, oh no. Oh, no. It's taking away the white of the paper though. Like, I can't complain about that. But it's like dropping icing sugar on top of cream. It's just like going. Right, okay. Can you hear that? Oh, it's not quite dry enough. That might not necessarily be a bad thing though. This might be a happy accident, guys. I was talking earlier about justifying purchases, and do you know something? See these pan pastels, and you can see like that's not all of what I own, and obviously I've built up this collection over which now 7 years. These are so expensive, and I am not a person that works in pastel frequently, and I have zero regrets about buying those because the times that I do go to get them, they're exactly what I'm looking for. They do the job and they're very versatile as well, and a tiny amount goes a long way. Like, I'm never going to run out of this grey colour ever. I've bought it and that's it. They don't go off. Like, it's not a thing. um so see if it's something that you were thinking about, if it's colours you're going to use frequently, which for me is earth tones, greens, um absolutely no qualms, and you can build up a collection. I think I might go for the wax stamp just to finish us off. We're just after 5 o'clock. We're nearly done, and I feel like this picture's nearly done as well. Just for reference, this doesn't belong to this. This is from the butterfly, like the pastel page. Okay, Marigold Rose pan pastels, value for money. Yep. But well, that's the thing. There's so many uses I have for them across all the different things that I do, and they're just always there kind of hanging about. They're super good. I like them a lot. I feel like we're getting there. I feel like this is like almost mission accomplished. I didn't want that wee tag or that bit. I do think I'm going to fire up my wax melt though. I've got my little doofy bob here. Now the problem is I need fire for this. That's a really good point. a year or so ago, I would have had a cigarette lighter in my pocket, which I no longer have. I've got matches through in the living room. I'm sure I've got a lighter somewhere, or I've got my clicky. All right, hang on. Now wait a minute. Where would I have one in here? No. Okay, not in there. One must find fire. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. Yes. Found one. So first things first, I need to light the candle. Try not to set everything else on fire. That would be a real good idea. Put that in there. Stick that on top. So we want autumnal colours, obviously. So here's my wee box of wax melts. So let's go that kind of colour. Maybe a gold colour as well might be nice. Let's stick a yellow in there too. Why not? That should be enough, one would think. We'll let that do its thing. Oh, I've got these little wooden embellishments which they're kind of cute. I really want to pop an acorn and a squirrel somewhere. A squirrel because Pip is obsessed with squirrels just now. It's her favourite thing to chase. She's bored of chasing pheasants. There's no challenge in that now because they're like she can catch them, and she doesn't want to catch them because she doesn't know what to do with them. Squirrels are much smarter than Pip, even the fat one in the garden, and they outsmart her every time. So maybe we should do that. So I've got these little I don't actually know what the proper name for these. I call them like 3D dots. So they're thick, they're foamy, but it makes things stand out from from the rest of your layers, if you like. So I would really like to pop a wee squirrel on the go there. Ugh. So like double-sided sticky. You pop them down there. Oh, we'll just bring a little bit of dimension to what's going on. And I think if we're going to put our wax melt there, I should maybe put that there. That would balance out the page quite nicely as well. The camera doesn't like it when Jem gets up. Yeah, it goes, what are you doing? What's going on? Yeah, there's so many cables and also wireless things going on with this setup. Your guess is as good as mine. Oh no, you can see the little dot. Oh, you can't really see it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's good. Maybe some pan pasto for the squirrel edges. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe I could just use the residue. Oh, Thea living dangerously. Oh, look. Ah. And I would do the whole squirrel. Just give him a wee dust. His name's Neville. Already decided. Haven't actually named my fat squirrels though. Yeah, that's nice. That takes some of the starkness off. Yeah, good shout, Thea. Right, okay, we're melted already. Right, I need to do this without absolutely ruining everything. It's very yellow. Oh, right, make sure we're the right way round. I don't know if I can get the rest of that out there. Come on now. My gold's not really showing up. Never mind. We'll live, it'll be okay. See, stuff like this is a real problem for my hand because I've no idea how much downward force I've put on stuff. But we'll see how that goes. It'll be fine, I'm sure. The other piece, the fat squirrel, is obviously called Bunter. Okay. Jan, you have officially named my fat garden squirrel. That's hilarious. So you think I should do the same with this one? Okay. There's not much left, right? I'm gonna have to. Maybe I can do this with my right hand. That might be fun. Let me just blow this out as well. I don't think there's much left in the pastel part of this. Might just take away that starkness though. Yeah, okay, there we go. Oh yeah. Good shout, Thea. Yes. I'm actually really pleased with this page today. Fat squirrel's called Bunter. My tea is absolutely stone cold. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. See, when I come on stream, I'm determined that for some reason I have to finish the tea, even though it's like freezing. Which doesn't make any sense because a lot of the time, like normally during the day, I will make a cup of tea and forget about it. I think it's a neurospicy thing. Sometimes it's halfway through the process of making a cup of tea, or sometimes it's actually like I've made the tea and I've physically brought it through to the office, and then I'd like take two mouthfuls out of it and then forget that it's there. But I don't know what it is with a stream. I feel I've got this compulsion to finish it, and no idea why. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. That's still quite hot. Have patience. Patience, Gem Gem. Patience. Nobody has made any complaints or comments about the number of ads. Has anyone got anything to say about ads? Have you had any at all? Have you had one or two? Input, please. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Right, I think we might be able to. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's a lot more red than I thought it was going to be. But okay. Right, let's have a wee zoom in then. How do we feel about that for a finished article? You've got a wee bit of bounce light there, obviously, because we've got shiny stuff. I think that's a really lovely warm autumn page. I'm really pleased with that. And this is fun. Like this has been so much fun this afternoon. Daria's had several ads but can eventually skip them. Daria, I know you've not like been consciously counting, but do you know roughly how many? Has it been like two or three, or has it been like six? Yeah, I'm actually really happy with it. As I say, there's no sort of like ambition for this for me. It's just to have a good time and enjoy like the color aspect of it because normally that's what motivates me to do this is like a color scheme. But I think that's really good, and I'm glad that we can see all my little owly faces as well. Like that makes me really happy weirdly. Maybe four or five, so that's still quite a few, Daria. That's interesting. Because you've not been in since the very beginning. So it's not even been 2 hours, which means you're getting at least two an hour. Okay. What I want to do with that, again, it's not of great interest to you guys, but I'm going to look at the revenue that the stream has generated from the ads that have come in stream. Obviously, there's two categories because people watch these on replay, and that's got like a whole separate thing with the ads. But I'm going to compare this to our last stream, which was a bit longer as well, and just see what the difference is in terms of revenue. But I find it interesting that no one's made any comment, but we have a very, very small number of viewers this time. The last stream we were like around 30, whereas just now there's only 13 of you. So, again, it's your sample pool, isn't it? Terry's had a few ads but been able to skip relatively quickly, no problem, about five or so. So you're kind of like on par then with what Daria's been getting. That's quite interesting. Hmm. And Patty's had none. Is that because you're Canadian, Patty? I don't know. But isn't it interesting that uh, Daria's in the States and so is Terry. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Conspiracy theories going on. I don't know what the answer to that is, guys. I just don't want you guys to get irritated by ads that continuously pop up, but by the same time, I need to not shortchange myself in terms of what we're doing here. I mean, I know we've had great fun, but this is still technically work for me, you know. But yeah, so I hope you've really enjoyed yourselves today. I have had a great time today. I'm really pleased that I've got this finished as well, because see, I just had that background for it's been sitting there for weeks. I just haven't had time or energy to do it, but I'm quite happy with that as a wee page in this new teeny weeny scrapbook. And we're going to build this up slowly. The next page that I'm going to do is a spooky page for Halloween. It might be might be a little bit a little bit more on the morbid side of things, but that's fine. Would you like to see a bit more scrapbooking and live streams? Is that something that you feel is good, or do you feel it's not really relevant to what we normally do and something you want to see? I'm going to put up a little poll. I know there's very few of you in the stream, but if you could take a wee moment to just vote on it, that would be good. I'll just call it Spooky Scrap Book question mark. Yes or no? There we go. Oh, Mary's enjoyed watching it. Oh, I'm glad. And Jan's reading Dracula, so okay. Nice for a change, yeah. And Daria, it's not something I would do like every second stream or anything, but maybe towards the end of the month. My thinking is though, because I'm going on holiday, it would have to be next week. Jan's such a coward. Ah. Terry loves to collage, so you've really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, and were you one of the people that was sitting cringing, going, "Oh, Jem, what are you doing?" Oh, that's nice. Okay, well, everyone's saying yes. Okay, yeah, right. So I think maybe because I'm thinking about obviously being away, I leave a week, 2 weeks today, so there will be no stream that day. So why don't we do a spooky scrapbook stream next week? And then we'll leave the scrapbooking on the live streams till maybe nearer Christmas time. We could do like a festive one maybe later on. But that's good. No, that's really nice to hear. I'm glad you've enjoyed it because I do like to provide variety, and the fact that it's been quite quiet in the cave the last couple of weeks as well, which is entirely on me. I'm actually really glad that you've enjoyed this because I've had really good fun. Restart a heart day so you're on voluntary day. Oh, Jan, good for you. That's okay. You can watch on replay though. Right, so we've got 100% yeses. So that solves that problem for content for next week's stream. Oh, Elise is asking, have you ever thought about doing miniature building like the book nooks? I absolutely love them. I don't have the fine motor skills in my bad hand for it though. I really don't. Like even scrapbooking's a struggle, but I absolutely love watching. I follow loads of people on Instagram and YouTube that do like the mini sort of dioramas. There's a girl, I can't remember her name, she's American, and I actually saw her first video on TikTok, which made me follow her on other social media. And she built it started off looking like a bookcase, and she kind of made it into a fallout shelter. But she told a story, and it sort of like spiraled into the person that had built the fallout shelter was actually using it as like a murder basement. And I mean, it's all very light-hearted. It's very funny. But it really appealed to me because she made a story out of what she's doing. Most of you know that I like to do that as well when I'm arting. I must find it. In fact, I'm going to look her up right now and tell you who she is because she's hilarious. She's super, super funny. Let me just have a quick look and I will tell you what her name is. It's not this one either. Sort by... I can't find her. Or maybe it was on Instagram. I can't remember. If I do remember, I'll put it in the comments under the replay for you. Mary loves watching Nerd Forge. Yes. That's all good. Right, okay, guys. I'm gonna call it a day at that. I say very pleased with what's going on. Had a lovely, relaxing afternoon, and in a much better mood than I was at lunchtime with Photoshop. Oh, hi, Jock. Are you awake? Hi. My elderly dog is absolutely filthy. He is 100% getting a bath on Saturday. He doesn't know this yet, but I can smell him before he's like in my vicinity. It's not good. Because he's got really sensitive skin, we try not to bath him because it exacerbates things, but he smells absolutely terrible, so it's going to have to happen. Plus, as well, today when we went out this morning, he stopped and scratched his face with his back foot, which was about 3 feet thick in mud, so his white part down here is brown. The time has come for a bath. Yeah, I'm glad you've had a good time. Yeah, poor Jog. He doesn't mind the bath though. See if you put a rubber duck in the bath, it's all good. It is all good. So, yeah, let's just finish up then. I want to thank you all very much for coming and joining me. I really enjoy these Wednesday afternoon streams because it's a small group. It's really chilled out. It's really laid back. We're just having a bit of fun. I've just realised you can see all the trees and the bushes moving out the window. Yes, proper windy outside. And there's no birds at the feeder either because you can see the feeder here. There's nothing going on. Too windy for them. Yeah, no, I've had a really good time. As I say, I'm not fully recharged yet, and to be able to sit and do something like this little scrapbooking for you guys to tell me that you enjoy it, that's it's so good to hear. It's really nice. So I hope you enjoy what's left of your Wednesday. Not that Thea had to do much today, but can we have a quick round of pink udder hands for Thea because she turns up and does the doing, even though I don't ask her to, which I absolutely love and appreciate very much. It's really nice to have someone in your corner for stuff like that. And we've been at this for a little while now, so yeah. Elise says, Jem, if you want to learn Photoshop, see there, that's where I'm going to stop you and say, no, I don't. I've been using Photoshop for 7 years. I still hate it. Yeah, pink udder hands. In fact, let me add my own pink udder hands because I can do that too. Woo! There we go. That's for you, Thea. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And obviously, I appreciate all of you guys too. So, as I said, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. There will be a video at the weekend and there will be one the following week as well. And we will have a Wednesday stream again next week with some more scrapbooking and we'll do a spooky little page for coming up to Halloween. So, Jem has a nice cube. What do you mean I've got a nice cube? What does that mean, Thea? Patty's got all the other hands. All the other hands. I can't go now till I find out what you're talking about, Thea. You mean the colour cubes? The blue thing? Oh, yeah. Have you seen one of these before? This is a needle, and it's like a stress ball, but it's cube shaped. But it's the firmness responds to temperature. So if you put it in the fridge, it's quite firm, so it gives you like a harder squeeze. Or if you sit it like on the radiator or next to like a furnace, it becomes very soft and easy to squeeze. I use it for my hand. That's like how I get my hand going in the morning. Yeah, these are great. They're very satisfying as well because you can kind of like they do bounce back eventually. But yeah, that I've been using one of these for ages. I actually recently my person that I report into at my proper job, she's just had surgery. And I sent her one and I was like, look, see when it starts to get cold and your hand stiffens up, you need one of these. So, and she was like, oh, thanks for thinking of me. That's really nice. They're so good, but they're very satisfying as well. Right. It's called a Nido, which is I'll type it in the chat. It's a knee. Dough. Like Play-Doh, but for for your knee. But yeah, they're super good. They're super good. I think you get them in different colours, but apparently you get glittery ones as well. I would have quite liked a glittery one. But yeah, they're very good. I just find it really helpful, more in the winter, to be fair. But that this is a thing for me, like it is a thing. And it just happens to match my teal jumper. Oh, for those of you as well, remember the orange sweater that I used to wear all the time? This is the teal one in the smaller size. It fits perfectly and I love it. And very glad. I'm in that kind of awkward stage of my big clothes don't fit me anymore, like they just hang on me, but my smaller stuff's too tight. So I'm in like the awkward teenager stage of losing weight. So I was really thankful when I bought this and it fits perfectly. Anyway, right, I'm away this time, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video at the weekend when it comes. Hopefully, some of you will watch that and leave some comments underneath it. And I will see you next Wednesday for a spooky scrapbook theme. So, have a great day, everyone, for what's left of it, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone. Go and have your whatever you're having to eat now.